what should be the factors, criteria for selecting an optional subject, and what made you select this optional?
See, first I'll say that whatever your graduation subject is, you have already studied it for 3-4 years. So, if possible, go for that particular subject. If your interest is there, if you can do good in that subject, go for that subject. But if you think that it is not your cup of tea or your interest is not there in that subject, you can go for other subject. But interest is the primary criteria for selecting your optional. If I take my example, I had 3 choices in front of me. I saw all the subjects, but I shortlisted history, political science and geography. So, what I did, I read few books of all the 3 subjects, and I realized that geography interests me more. So, I took geography as an optional. So, interest should be the main criteria of selecting your optional, and the other things, secondary things, what marks are coming or not, content is available, or what is the trend of papers in the past previous years. So, these are all secondary things.
Secondary thing, of course.
If your interest is…
When you are saying interest is the primary thing, would you like to elaborate it? Because of course most of the toppers I have spoken to, they talk that interest is the main thing. Even I suggest the same thing to candidate. But maybe many of the people who are watching you, they might be interested. What do you mean they say interest?
See, there are…
why it is so important?
See, there are different subjects, like history is there. So, you have to read a lot about ancient, medieval. So, when I started reading, as I was having an engineering background, so the concepts of geography, they were more understandable. I was more able to relate with those.
Being a technical subject.
They were more easy to me, for me to understand. So, my interest got generated in that particular subject. Similarly, some students are there whose background is in sociology, history, these things, society, they interest them more. So, this is something which…
That's very clear, Junaid. Now, the question is, why interest in the subject is so crucial for performing better in that subject?
Because when you are preparing, not only the static part, like in the graduation which you study, those kind of questions don't come in UPSC exam. It is more of dynamic in nature. You have to relate different things into…
A lot of common sense based questions.
Common sense based questions are there. If you will not have interest, you will not be able to link those things. If I talk about geography, my paper in paper 1, it is purely physical geography, but I have to introduce Indian human geography concept, tribes concept in that particular paper. So, it will come only when you have interest in that particular subject.
And moreover, since the subject is quite lengthy, you may not be able to spend that much time to study that. If you are not studying with interest, it will become burden on you.
The second thing is the newspapers and the current events and current things which you are studying. If you don't have interest, you will not be able to relate those things with your optional subject. That is very important nowadays, value addition. So, that becomes very important.
So, what you want to say is that in the optional also, one has to be very, very alert about the newspapers and all the current affairs there.